This conference will now be recorded.
No. There's a copy of the draft. There's a mistake in the draft. Simple mistake.
All right.
I read it. Pretty good.
Good evening. It is 6:15, so we'll get started. Thank you for coming to the Town of Ennis Commission meeting. I'm Mayor Lisa Roberts, and I'd like to open our meeting with roll call of the commission. Commissioner Way.
Here.
Commissioner Ranson. Here. Commissioner Hankins. Here. Commissioner Harvey.
Here.
And now we'll do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. So our first agenda item is the approval of the meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve those minutes.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I just have.
Is there any public comment regarding the meeting minutes? Any questions or further discussion? Yeah, it was Mr. Way.
Motion and then second.
And the second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Should have some comment on this.
Okay. Hearing no public comment and no further discussion.
I do have a comment.
Sure. Will you stand up and state your name for the record? You don't have to come to the podium. You just have to, you can just stay right there. Yeah.
Gail Shebarker, I was reading your draft ordinance proposal there. I found a simple little mistake, but it's in one of the lines on the back page, it says Red Lodge instead of Ennis.
Oh, right.
So
We'll
you need
fix
to
it.
fix that part.
We sure can. Do you have any comments on the meeting minutes? That's our agenda item that we're addressing at the moment.
Okay, I was on the wrong page.
That's okay. That's okay. Just double checking. Yeah, no comments on the meeting minutes?
No.
Okay, so, move to approve, Mr. Way?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, department reports. Usually we have a representative from the sheriff's department here. Aren't here, but the calls for service were in the summary were in there. Did anyone have any questions on that?
Do you know how we're trending compared to like last year? If we're up, we're down, calls for service wise?
I don't know, but I can certainly ask Christine to do that. I know as far as tickets for, say, DUIs were up
I noticed that as well. Yeah.
year over year.
Yeah, I noticed.
But as far as other ones, I am not certain. So I guess I could pull old reports and compare. I don't think she would have, or actually we could.
Dispatch might have, because they updated and changed their system a few years ago.
Well, here we can pull.
Dispatch might be able to.
I'm gonna look up in the old drive real quick. From 2025. We'll go to May of 2025, and let me see if there is a. There doesn't seem to be a report from the Ennis Police Department in May. Oh, excuse me, I stand corrected. I'm just under EPD.
2026 doesn't count yet.
So, last year, For Ennis Police Department and Madison County Sheriff's Office was 39 day calls and 8 night calls. So I don't know if they're using a different metric or not.
Can I say something, please? Come on.
In regards to calls for service?
Yeah, the sheriffs are adding when the ambulance transports people to Bozeman in those calls. I don't think those actually should be part of the calls for Ennis. Because that
Okay.
ain't us calling them out. And after 5, that's their job. You know,
Okay, yeah,
they
we
gotta
can
make
talk.
those reports right, you know.
Yeah, so we can work with Christine on adding, which ones we want to see, which ones we don't want to see. No problem.
No.
Okay. Thank you, Eric.
I was just looking for a trend, if we're about the same, if we're, greatly increasing.
Yeah, because some of these are traffic calls, and those aren't necessarily calls versus this is all the activity that they've had. So it's a different set of.
Follow-ups, all that stuff.
Yes. Mr. Walmall.
Through the past year, well, more than a year, but the last 3 years, not the totals on the usual police department reports, the maximum is 60.
Yeah.
That I recall, but since the sheriff's department has taken over the total law enforcement, they're doubled and almost tripled.
Yeah, but like Eric just said, the sheriff's department has more stuff on there that John wasn't putting on there. So they seem like they're doubled.
I understand that, but I'm talking about reports.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, I think there was a different, they were measuring the data in different ways.
if he's putting it on, whether he wasn't putting it on, the overall reports,
Yeah,
is unquote,
yeah.
whether it were supposed to be put on or not. But where's the basis for that?
Yeah, I was just looking for a trend.
Yeah, I think we would have to go back through the data and delete, because they have traffic stops on here where I don't think they were actually calls for service.
Sure.
Is the difference. So unfortunately, unfortunately, switching the agencies, they measure it differently.
Yeah, I didn't mean for us to get into weeds or.
Oh, no, that's okay, I'm glad you asked the question. Okay, we will, I think Karen said she was going to be late, but we do have Michelle Schrock here from Madison County Planning. She'll be covering planning and zoning report for us.
Okay. So do you have our monthly report? Does everyone have a copy of the monthly report? Any questions? No questions? Okay, we had our sensitive lands mapping open houses and we had some good attendance in Virginia City, but here in Ennis, we didn't have many people show up, so, but they're exciting maps. Yeah, it was a busy night. We noticed
Is
it
there a
was busy.
chance that you would maybe do another one?
Well, we're looking at, so we haven't even brought it before the commissioners yet.
Okay.
We're trying to get public feedback right now.
Okay.
So there's a scan code that we have on the
Oh,
website that
okay.
you can scan and put your input on the maps.
Oh,
Or you can play
perfect.
with the maps, they call it the little hamburger, the 3 lines.
Yeah.
If you click on there, you can select the different maps like water, agriculture, fire, all that.
Would you send that link to Brenna and then we can put it on our scroll page on the first page and maybe try to get you a little more thing, and then we can print out a hard copy too, to maybe post at the library and
Okay.
other things too, to help spread the word that they're looking for feedback. So what that sensitive land was, is they took layers of maps, essentially, they took, well, maybe Michelle could.
So what they
explain it
did is,
better.
the company out of Colorado, what they did is we addressed certain things when we're doing subdivision review, like effects on agriculture, effects on wildlife, effects on water. And so all those things that are affected during our subdivision review, those maps were created with agriculture data, like from Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks. We had Montana Bureau of Mines and Geology out of Butte, their input. We have input from several agencies. And it tells you on the map, when you click on the map, it tells you who the sources are. It's very informational, it's very interesting, and it'll help us when we're reviewing subdivisions and looking at, you select a layer on water, and if you see a subdivision where water's kind of sketchy, you can kind of go, okay,
Yeah.
So it'll be a great tool.
Yeah. So what they did is they took these maps and you can layer on top of each other. And so then you can it gives you a bigger picture of like, this area would be, prime for development, or this area is gonna have some significant challenges due to the availability of water or a wildlife corridor or other factors that that planning board is taking into consideration. And it's not so much for Ennis as it is more for countywide. Yeah. So.
It looked like Eric maybe had his hand up, I want to double check.
We'll let, Michelle.
That was a
finish her-
mistake. It was
Oh,
a
okay.
mistake. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you.
Okay, and then do we want to approach, like, I heard comment on our draft. Oh, is it the draft on the annexation plan?
Yeah, that's further down.
Okay,
So we'll address that then. In Michelle's, report, they had 3 fence permits, 3 zoning permits, and 1 other permit, for the town of Ennis. And then they did board advertisements and consolidation, annexation plan and associated resolutions. And then they're working on what they, proposed last meeting was the zoning ordinance and starting that process. They also answered questions on zoning designations, sites improvements, front permits, floodplain and annexation. So they fielded a lot of questions for us as well. So, and they are working with standard operating procedures with myself, Public Works, and so when since this timeframe, we have to develop a process. Develop a process, okay, when the permit comes in, then what happens, like.
Yeah.
Let's watch, so we developed that, so, it was very helpful, so I think we had.
And helps with the zoning codes and stuff too.
Yes.
Yes. Question, is there any discussion about, AI generation stations happening within the county?
Not right now. We're looking at a station for addressing. And that would be for just addressing the county outside of any of the incorporated towns. This would be for Madison County is all. But AI, not there yet.
Oh, are you asking about data centers?
Yeah, data centers.
Okay, so,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to check on that one. So you want to know about AI and data centers?
yeah, if there's been any proposed.
Just
Not that I know
conversation
of.
about it. There's a handful of, towns that are, potentially being affected. Yes.
It was discussed at one of the commissioners' meetings and they kind of hemmed and hawed and tabled it to another meeting.
Yeah, my mother's been approached about putting in a solar farm and I have no idea what it was gonna be utilized for, but obviously it affects neighborhoods.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, and
Your community.
we actually have, like, we'd have to like share with you guys like our ordinance on like, they have an ordinance on cell towers and like the solar panels. We're working on a new ordinance for that right now.
Okay.
Has the county, I guess that would be kind of the question, I think, for a couple, if we want to delve into it, is the Public Service Commission and, where the energy comes from for those, and then B, has the county ever thought about county-wide zoning or citizen initiated zoning?
Yeah.
That's a big task, so I don't know that they've considered that with,
Yeah, we have one citizen initiated zoning project right now. But as far as countywide, no, that's a big chunk to get on.
it is, yes. Sure.
I'm trying to get in the groove here, but what happened to this public hearing that you bypassed?
Oh, I apologize. You're right. I'm sorry. Don't have my glasses on. Thank you for, so I think it was written at, so, okay, we will backtrack. a little bit, my apologies.
Thank you.
So are you satisfied with your time for department report?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can move on to.
So I apologize, we will backtrack to our public hearing of the town of Ennis. We'll take public comment on ordinance 161 on ordinance adopting the town of Ennis annexation policy. So, just to give you a little history, when the town of Ennis, signed an interlocal agreement with the Madison County Planning Department for them to assist with us, one of the first thing identified was that we needed a annexation policy, because ours wasn't clearly defined. So this gives it structure and it gives it a process. So, I can read the policy if you would like, or ordinance. I can read the ordinance. Annexation policy. Here.
Do you have a copy? Do you want one?
Sure. If you have what I
Kind
have.
enough to print out this ordinance for me, but it's dated, that you're gonna sign it, and it's dated,
That's
the
the
11th of June. And it surely isn't the 11th of June today.
No, so we have to have two readings of it. That's the reason why. So, so the first is just that's the resolution of intent, but the ordinance. Annexation ordinance. And it was advertised, and it's the ordinance number 161, adopting the town of Ennis annexation plan. So it's the first reading, whereas Montana Code annotated 7-2-42 authorizes the Ennis Town Commission to annex adjacent land to the incorporated town boundary and impose conditions of approval for such annexation. And whereas the town commission recognizes that development adjacent to town boundaries may have significant impact on the town. And whereas the town commission has responsibility to evaluate both positive and negative impacts associated with the expanding town limits and town services. And whereas the town Ennis Commission acknowledges the need to adopt a fair and comprehensive process for the consideration of proposed annexations into the town. And whereas the town commission adopted resolution number 626, a resolution of intent to adopt the town Ennis annexation plan on May 14th. We haven't gotten to that part yet, but whereas a public hearing was set and legally noticed, and copies of the proposed draft of town Ennis were made available for public review at the Ennis Town Hall, Madison County Planning Office, and the Town of Ennis website. And whereas the Town of Ennis Commission held a public hearing on the proposed town annexation plan on, it will be on June 11th. And whereas after considering comments received up to and through the public hearing held on June 11th, the Town of Ennis Commission finds the proposed the Town of Ennis annexation plan to be acceptable. So, but then there's also the annexation plan that has been outlined. So if you have any comments on the annexation plan?
That was the point I was making, that one page on the back there, it still says Red Lodge.
Sure, yep.
So, let's see. On the very last page?
Not the very last one, somewhere right in there, I don't.
We'll find it.
It's in there.
I'll write it down,
It'll
but it
jump
has
right out at you.
Abraham County.
That's a good catch. I didn't catch that when I read it. Good catch.
My proofreading skills.
Thank you for catching that. That's what's nice about local government, is we're all collaborative. Are there any other comments on the annexation policy? The public hearing?
Get you the draft. We'll get you the draft.
So I would like to have that draft, a copy of that draft, please. concerns me because of my properties that are patched in between every, those things that they've already annexed in. And they're gonna force me to
It's under section number 3, number 5.
price to get the services there, and they should have accommodated it in the plan.
Thank you.
And I would like to make a public comment.
In regards to the annexation policy?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And I do it as a matter of concern because of 2 or 3 properties that I have that, due to the fact of the way annexation into the town from some other pieces of property is, you've left me in an island. And I'm very concerned now because it wasn't addressed when, that whole area should have been annexed and the sewer and the sewer, because we already have the water. The sewer should have come at the time all of that was done. And now we're gonna do this annexation thing, and you're gonna come up with, you're gonna force annex
Oh,
my
this policy
properties
doesn't.
and make me pay for what didn't get done back then. And I'm just doing it by way of telling you that's a concern that I have. I realize that you need to address these things, but I also want it on the record that I am concerned that doesn't happen.
So the annexation policy, once you have a chance to read it, talks about when people want to annex in and what the process looks like and what the town needs to
I
consider.
assumed that that's what that was going to be.
Yeah, and it lays out, it just is more clarity. It doesn't talk about forced annexation or anything like that. This is just a policy. So when I hear your concerns about your
I know it
property.
doesn't talk about that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there's a little bit of writing that is almost on the wall, how this is going forward.
Well, so as we identified working with Cody Markser, this was one of the things that the town of Ennis didn't have, that we need to have.
Yeah.
And so, it was the lowest hanging fruit because it's something that we can get from other communities. I think this one was actually Red Lodge and White Sulphur Springs maybe were used.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a policy that they had that has, stood the test of time, and so it was a good one. So that was one of the things we have, I don't know, about 6 or 7 boxes to check off, and this was the one, so. Any other questions or comments on the public hearing for ordinance adopting the town of Ennis annexation plan? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why wouldn't that be included in the plan?
What's that?
What she's talking about, why wouldn't that be included in the plan?
So this just talks about, when people are, basically when subdivisions, say for instance, when the North 40 wanted to annex into the town, it lays out a process, or when the grocery store.
We didn't have a process of it.
We didn't have, so this just lays out the general process, it's not talking about specific properties, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's just a protocol, it's a policy to
Yeah.
follow, or something in our code to follow.
Is there much more space for anyone to volunteer when we annex in? I mean,
And I think the rest of that's laid out in state statute
Mhm.
that would be addressed via that.
Stuff that they didn't have yet,
And then like they updated the
trying to get up to speed.
application and things like that is what they did, so. Okay. Well, okay, so we will close the public hearing on, public comment on ordinance adopting the annexation policy. And we'll reopen the meeting in regards to the library reports. Karen is not with us this evening, but I can summarize her report. They had 2,500 visits. We had 261 public PC sessions. They had almost 800 Wi-Fi sessions. They had 493 participants for programming, and they had 39 events for the use of the community room. They hosted Mrs. Nelson's 5th grade class and the Adventure Academy preschool. The 5th graders taught the littles about fish they raised in the classroom and read them stories in small groups. Both age groups were, as usual, amazing, and we hope to host more ages and classes next school year. She talked about the main events. They've got Books and Babies, Story Time, Dungeons and Dragons, Library Board, Friends of the Library, Fiber Arts. There's a program, AI Beyond the Hype. That's actually this evening. I think that's why Karen is there. They have a knit night and then felting with Jandoni. Facilities talks, Tri-County Mechanical performed our spring maintenance check. All is well with our air conditioning. Eric and Ed are working on sprinkler maintenance, and Ed's Tree Care will be here this week to make a canopy reduction plan. Lots of staff vacation time this month. I've been on the desk programming and working the budget with the local government review. So, any questions? Nothing I can answer now. Any public comment? Hearing none. All right. Let's see, Public Works. Eric, did you want to give a verbal report in regards to Public Works? Maybe he stepped away. We do have one application for the open position.
Oh, hey.
So, yep. Did you want to give a brief synopsis? I know you've been busy.
Yeah, it's just our busy time of year. We spent weeks on sprinklers, but let me just go over this briefly real quick. First off, do you guys have any questions on my report? That I can just address right now.
Was there? You didn't send us one.
Hey, I had it in the draft one, they're just not getting over.
Oh, it must not have gotten over. I apologize. Yeah, it is not in the official.
He did scan it over to me and I put it in the draft one.
Oh, you put it in the draft folder?
Yeah,
Okay.
before we even had the official, so.
Okay, let me find it, Eric. Hold on.
It's all right. It's all right. I'll just bust this out. I got you. This is way easier.
Public Works report. There it is. Yep, I found it for us. I'll just read it. Currently, they're pumping 16. Oh, you've got it in front of you?
Yeah. If I
Okay,
can I'll just go over this. Yeah. It's just been a busy week. 2 weeks, really. We're getting our sprinklers going on. We've done a lot of work on the sprinklers this year. They were really failing and getting to be a pain the end of summer, last summer. So we did a lot of work on them. We replaced several. Ed has spent 2 days down at the library replacing several there just to get them not leaking all over the concrete. We've done a lot of turn-ons. Well, a few turn-ons for the snowbirds coming back. It was kind of late this year, but both the water samples were come back safe to drink. Those were good. Our sewer, we do our daily checks on everything out there. Samples were sent off. We haven't received them yet. Of course, that always comes about a week later. I will say we did violate our BOD load. Not last month, the month before. We're kind of behind there. And this last month, we're gonna violate for TSS. I resampled even, and it's just bad. the algae out there is just stiff. It is getting better. It's getting a lot better, but we've been doing everything we can out there to get that under control. Here's where we battle out algae all year. But I do want to note this has been the best 7 years since that lagoon was installed. We're doing a lot of work out there. It's just the algae is rough on that, but we're getting it under control. We completely tore down and cleaned our UV reactor, and there's a lot more stuff in the UV reactor than I'd like to see as far as trash, and I'd like to address that at some point. We did the monthly maintenance on our blowers, cleaned out. Well, first off, our smoke testing went really well in town. We spent 2 days doing all the smoke testing, and basically what we found was just a few uncovered cleanouts. Our residents were advised to close those up. We didn't find any major breaks. We found 2 sewer lines that were blocked in the middle because of the smoke, believe it or not, which was helpful. Cleaned those out. Mowing guy has started. We're not going with True Green this year. We bought bags and laid down the weed and feed ourselves. I think Corey, and what's her name, Hannah, had talked about not using them, and I think it's going to go a lot better. They don't show up till August anyways. That's pretty much just been a really busy, this time always hits us hard, Public Works, but in the next month or 2, we'll have it all sorted out and going. Any questions?
Eric, I have one question. Have you seen the number of hours on our wells go up this month? And how many hours a day are they running?
Sorry. Yeah, that's right on top of my report, actually. We're currently pumping at 16. In the summer, John, or winter, spring, fall, we're right around 6 hours. So
6 hours.
It's climbing. Yeah. So in the winter, spring, fall, it's 6 hours, but it is climbing, which those 16 right now don't seem that bad, actually. I think we did 3 hydrants here early, and all 3 of them were leaking. I don't know if but it's looking better than last year. We're about 3 hours lower than last year at this time, which is exciting for me. I will, on the top of the report, John, that'll be a new thing. Just that's what we're doing.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
Yep, bud.
How's the grader schedule?
How's the grader schedule?
Yes.
That's your question. Do you have a grader schedule, Eric?
Yeah, it's coming soon. We got to put the fires out first, and we are getting on that now. Yes, sir. Yeah. Like that's been a pretty big deal for us here the last 3 years, getting the gravel roads in better shape. So we're definitely going to continue on with that. I think they've been pretty good with all the mag we're laying down. I know it's expensive, but it seems to help with the potholes and probably dust in people's houses. I know it does me.
Are any more roads gonna be paved in the foreseeable future? Because you used to have a road paved every year.
So
It used to be. I know you've expressed that that's not one of your priorities.
right.
Well, I think it's a priority. It's just.
So now it's definitely a priority of mine, but what's underneath the roads matters because the roads are so expensive. What's underneath them, if that pipe's old, AC pipe, it needs replaced at some point. I don't see putting a road on top of it right now. There's,
Okay, I'm sorry. Understood. So that's what he was saying, is that there's still some old pipes there, so you don't wanna lay a new road on top of it, and then have to dig it up to replace the pipe. So it's like, what comes first, the chicken or, you know?
the
You want-
the one road that can be done is right in front of my house, and I don't want to be that guy, so it's not getting done.
Can I ask one more question, Eric? So I've got your forward email from Clayton Markser. Do you think that I should reach out to him and ask for a follow-up to see if we can get an interlocal agreement?
Oh, they're working on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are working on it with the county attorney.
It's just not going to happen. I'm studying for the weeds right now. It's not going to happen. So I'll just study and get the license and do it. I'm studying right now.
To address weeds.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. So, yeah, I
I
think it's one
don't
of those.
expect this. I don't
Eric has
expect to see
graciously
that.
offered to take the training for the weeds and to get certified so that we can spray our own weeds.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys
Okay,
hear me?
You're cutting in and out.
Fading
Not
in
very
and out.
good.
It's really hard to hear you actually.
But
Okay.
thank you for that, and thank you for offering to get certified. I was just following up because I just wasn't sure what happened with
It's
it.
so this is the only time they hold classes for me to go and get the license. But this is my busiest time of year. It's hard for me to step away from anything around here right now.
Yeah.
So I'm
totally.
doing it about an hour every night, and I'll get the core and then the other 2 tests done beside that. But it's gonna get done. I'm trying to get it done as fast as I can.
Okay.
He's taking it online, essentially.
Oh, okay.
He's doing an online certification.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the
Yep.
update.
You have
Yeah.
a question?
Hey, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Eric, hey, it's Keith Brown Eyes with the Master River Foundation.
How are you,
Couple of
Keith?
questions. Hey, I'm good, man. Couple of questions for you. With regards to the weed and feed, any chance you're working with the Ranchlands Group or one of
I
the
am not. Who is that?
environmental groups? I don't want to add more to your plate, but if you could find something that's phosphorus free or has very low phosphorus in it, that would be ideal for the river. Phosphorus does kill aquatic species. And even if they're applied within a mile of the river, they will eventually leach in. So you're thinking,
So
great, Keith,
that's
just more to my plate, but.
okay. I will look
And I
into
can, I
that.
can work with you on this too, if you want to call me,
Let's do
you
it.
know, at another time and we can.
Yeah, if you want to help him identify
Yeah,
where
yeah,
that would
let's
be
talk.
appropriate, that would be great.
Yeah, happy to do that
That
with
would-
you. Call me.
I think that'd be easy to find something without the phosphorus in it. I think we could do that pretty easy.
That would be great. Awesome, thank you.
That's,
then-
you know, I didn't even think about it, so thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome. Secondly, is our town water supply or the pipes, have they ever been tested for iron bacteria?
We do iron tests every 3 years.
Okay,
The last time we did them, everything was fine.
so you didn't find any presence of the bacteria?
No, sir.
Iron? Okay,
Those are a 3-year test for us. We're only required every 3 years. We got the monthly, and then we got 3-year tests. I have a 6-year test and a few 9-year tests. But I am, Keith, this year gonna get the 3-year test done, and that'll come up real quick.
okay. All right, thank you. You and I can talk more about that when we talk about fertilizer. I don't want
All
to
right.
bore these with my, okay, thanks, Eric.
Mr. Schaefer?
I have another question for you that I asked about 2 or 3 years ago. Is the water line from that old concrete, water tank that's up there on Antelope Meadows still usable?
No,
Eric has
No.
indicated that it's not usable.
no, and I'll tell you why. I mean, the water line you could use, but the tank you can't because
I
of the
understand,
height.
I understand that, but I have a proposition for you.
Okay.
Well,
You
water
gotta
line
the pump
will be
works,
tricky.
clean water. Cut the top off the tank, drop it in, fill it with dirt and recover the top of the tank instead of metal tank on top of it. You got a heck of a base right there. Could you hook onto that water line and supply more water to the city then?
Yeah, we're currently exploring building the new tank too. We're working on, the land acquisition for a new tank.
Or do they still own that tank? I guess is my second.
Yeah, the concrete tank, yes, we still do. So,
'Cause that's just an option I've been thinking about for several years. I don't know if anybody even knew that it was available up there, but if the water line's intact and it's usable,
yeah, I guess the water line.
Holy cow.
yes.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
don't know that.
this is bad. This is bad.
Okay.
I mean, you can't
Yeah.
use the concrete
In
tank.
answer,
It was condemned a long time ago. But
Is that what the issue was with
yeah,
that?
they
I'm
had something
curious.
fall in it
Oh,
and it contaminated the tank and then they couldn't get it cleaned and it was a big hassle to get it all done.
Interesting.
But I don't understand why you couldn't just break the top of it out and fill it full of gravel.
Do you think it could be, do you think it could be with new technologies, it could be disinfected and used?
I don't know. That's a possibility.
Eric's using his.
Okay, go ahead, Eric.
oh, this is bad, guys. This is really bad. This is the worst I've ever heard it. That line's been sitting empty for way too long to be open to the town. And if we open there, like I honestly, I don't know, and I doubt there's any way to disinfect that. And I don't know if I'd want to mess with it. Like that line's been sitting there. I don't know when. Do you remember when they shut off?
Line could be replaced.
And if it could save the town hundreds of thousands of dollars, why would we not look into it?
When was it shut down? He was asking? Oh, probably 1996, I think. Is that?
Probably somewhere in that neighborhood.
I think, yeah, because our 1995 is when the new tank was built, so I would imagine that came offline about the same time.
In all honesty, it won't be me that opens that line to this town. No way. Not me and my license. Absolutely not. It's been sitting dormant and wide open for way too long.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your opinion on that.
It could be reran though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you could rerun there's probably stuff to be
She would
explored.
still have a right of way through there to dig it
Yeah.
right straight down the hill.
Yeah, it's probably a utility easement through there, so. Okay, any other questions for Eric or public comment? All right, thanks, Eric. All right. Okay, our budget report, I apologize. So what I do have our budget reports. We are, in regards to revenues, we are at 56%, which I think tracks as far as we're getting a tax payment here from the county here shortly. So our second payment from the county, because taxes are due in May, and then we get another. Yeah, so we are at 56% of that. And then on the expenditure side, we're at 45% of our expenditures. So, yeah, not too bad for being in the last quarter of our fiscal year. So.
Can I add one thing along to that water line and that property?
No, I think we've heard that it's not feasible in your opinion.
Well, this is the important thing and the matter of fact on why it's not. So with the amount of people in town, you have to have a certain amount of fire flow in town. That, if you put anything out there, it would have to be exactly as high as the tank we have now, if not higher.
Probably is.
You said it on top.
So, okay, yeah, it's yeah.
It's nowhere near it. It's
okay.
1,000 foot lower.
All right, thanks, Eric. All right. Okay, so we got our budget reports. That closes out. What do you have, court? And court. I don't have anything from Jordan. Do you have anything from her? So we usually don't, but I think it was optimistic, maybe something. I didn't request one from me or her either, so, but I know court has been busy. Okay.
Maybe they just realized the it's not on there if anyone wants to be.
Oh, you want? Were you? I'm Sorry,
No, we're
Brenna.
not on this agenda, it's all right.
And in her packet, please, Brenna, please go ahead. How did that, I'm sorry.
It was in our packet, correct, though?
It was, yes.
Okay, so we got that far. Does anyone have questions right off the bat?
Yes.
Go ahead.
How many short-term rental violations?
Oh, we had 5 that we sent out, and 2 have paid. So there's movement on that.
What is he talking about?
But that would be more.
Explain.
So the short-term rentals require, so to have a short-term rental in the town of Ennis, you have to do, to get a business with the town of, or get a license with the town of Ennis, you have to meet the state requirements and do all of that. So there had been 5 or so that had not gotten their Ennis city business license. And so, Madison County, helped us, out quite a bit and got us, the citation, network. So Brenna can actually write citations for that. So there were 5 properties that were being advertised as short-term rentals that did not have a license. And so, and several of them she had been working with. And so, you know, after a couple of warnings, they got a citation. So, and 2 of those have, paid their citations, and like 3 others have not.
Okay.
So.
Because, you know, the last time that I kind of zeroed in on that, there were quite a bit larger number than that.
That's just the people that haven't licensed, and I've gotten on them, and these are the people that still haven't licensed in the 2 years since
So
I've been here.
it's getting cleaned up pretty good.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what's happening. So, and we have to, and to issue a citation, you have to have lots of evidence to make sure, you know, because it then becomes, if they don't, it goes to court. So you want to make sure that you have, everything buttoned up for the prosecutor. So, but I think it did bring their attention, at least a couple of them.
And then the statewide, they gave us the opportunity, the ones of us that are doing long-term and trying to keep things at a reasonable rate, we were able to fill out a form and jump through their hoops and so forth. But I've gotten a response that they've accepted that and they will be looking at adjusting my
Very
tax.
good. Yeah, very
rate.
good. Yeah,
So-
yeah, I think that was with the last legislative, tax reform.
So are they paying the citation and then getting the permit, or they just pay the
Yep, they have to
citation?
pay the citation, and then they have to pay for their business.
Okay.
We have 175 people registered in the payment portal. And while I was away in Billings, they suggested that any board that you guys, the council appoints, should be recorded. Doesn't have to be put out to the public, but it should be recorded. So we might want to think about that and maybe trying up a policy of that, so it's in order.
Library board.
Yeah, like any of those. So just to make sure that we're following those. And then I had a request if we could add or even edit our policy for the meeting. If we could add it to each agenda. And then maybe the mayor would take a quick review of it so that everyone's on the same page of how a council meeting should flow. I think that may help. If you guys have any ideas or anything, I would love to hear.
I'd like to add that Brenna has been officially promoted to town clerk. So she was filling in, kudos to Brenna. Amazing, and so she was in the interim position until she completed, clerk school at the beginning of the month. So that kept her very, busy in Billings, and, I'm sure she learned a lot. So, but she's also she has implemented the website, getting that going, and you can read through the rest of her report too. She's been very busy, and she is very proficient in her job, and so, yes.
What sequence is the bills go out? I think I've gotten the water bill about every other day.
So you'll get your official water bill on the 1st, and the other ones, the mayor actually brought this to my attention. I was sending information from like our new people with accounts. So I was sending it over so that they could set up theirs. Going forward, I'm just gonna have it, they have to wait till their first bill comes out. So it shouldn't happen anymore, but that's all it was. Yep.
See if I would miss one or something.
Nope, you're all good.
I'm in town council, can I call you in a little bit?
Any
Okay,
questions
thanks.
for Brenna?
I have a question. So in your training, so when we're taking minutes, is the recording good enough to constitute minutes for that?
No, you have to have a policy for that, and that actually entails a lot more. Bozeman does that now, but your meeting minutes have to match up with the recording exactly to the time. There's a lot more that goes into it. It's not like a great easy switch, like this could just be our minutes and that's it. There's a lot more that goes into it, so I wouldn't suggest it. But we can easily just make sure that everyone has easy access to this, or as long as I have far enough of an advance notice to get it set up, I'll have it set up for you to just press record. Or you can just get a little recorder. We can buy some recorders for those little ones, and that's all it is. And again, it doesn't have to be posted publicly. It's just to keep that record of it.
Thank you, Brenna. Okay, next item, claims.
I move to approve claims.
Second.
Discussion?
For the legal, for
There's-
4,760 for legal.
So, yes, so that was Sam, our prosecutor. So since having more DUIs,
The court's busy.
the court's busy, so there's more prosecutions.
There's that one credit card gone now.
Almost, our Google Workspace was still on it, we just got that switched over. That's then. Okay, Mr. Wade.
Probiotic scrubber, 55 gallon drums, is that for the sewer system? Is that what
For the
Eric was
lagoon,
talking about for the, okay.
Yeah, so it's those special bucks, because that's how the lagoon works and cleans. And when it gets out of whack, they add that they actually add it at the beginning of the system, so it goes all the way through, yeah.
Filters through.
Yeah. Those aren't probiotic drinks.
55 gallon drums.
Just come over, Rico.
Yeah.
It's a probiotic scrubber.
Yes.
True story.
So trailer, we bought a trailer.
Yeah, a little utility trailer
Okay,
for hauling mowers and stuff.
okay.
Yep.
And the printer is for Eric's office, right?
Yes.
Is there a reason we did that instead of contracting with Fishers to add another one? Is it just way more, because don't we?
Yeah.
This one only costs $200, not 50,000. That's why. It's just
But
a
we already have a contract with Fishers.
$200.
Right, but if we already have a
They
contract
do.
with.
Water and sewer doesn't.
Okay, I'll just direct my questions to you. Yeah, so the catch-up payment is gonna be completely done with that credit card after this?
I believe so. It's the Google Workspace, and then we did switch that over to the new credit card. So we should
Okay,
do that.
because I feel like I see Google Workspace throughout claims in another spot too, don't I? Sometimes.
There is one for emails and I think one for the drive, and they're both named Google Workspace, I believe.
Okay. And then just Starlink, are we still?
Yep, we're still with
sticking
Starlink. They do a point-to-point for our telemetry system, something with that. But we did have, did talk with it'll be an ongoing thing with DIS and stuff like that. So to see if it can be switched over to Three Rivers. But Eric says the reliability of Starlink has been good. And then the telemetry system works off of that as well. It's a point-to-point system. So it might be a little bit more, yeah, it's a little more involved.
The security in all of Starlink stuff is worth it. You guys are running a town. The security should matter.
It does. I would say Three Rivers is probably secure too.
Do we just have to have a secondary system? Is that not how it works?
There is, Three Rivers there is a backup, Three Rivers with a point-to-point from the North 40 or something set up over there. So there is a backup with Three Rivers.
Or a redundancy?
Redundancy, yes.
Montana Legislative Services, $350 full set, it says, is that?
Remember what that one was.
I,
I was gonna say, do you mind double checking?
Yeah, I
It should
can-
be mostly out of that folder.
I just figured it was something you gotta do real quick.
Oh, it's probably new books. It's the new books. It's
It is
the
for court.
legislative.
Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
sorry, it took me a minute to.
I know, I was like, I know I looked at it.
Yeah, I'm good, you can call the question.
Good, okay.
All right, and vote to approve, Gardner, Hankins, Commissioner Hardy, Commissioner Way.
Aye.
Okay, next one, public comment on non-agenda items. So this is if you have any comments on anything not on the agenda.
I have a comment. Gail Shebarker again. It's come to my attention that maybe some of you didn't know that there was a fund at one time for Ennis ambulance service. And this lady by the name Violet Thexton gave us a ton of money. The Ennis ambulance system does not exist anymore. However, my question is, that money was earmarked for either purchasing equipment or training or stuff like that to deal with the ambulance service. So I don't think we can just drive into that and start spending it for anything else other than that. Like, we can't do a beautification of the Ennis town main street with that kind of money. And there's a pile of money there. But maybe we probably need to talk to the city attorney about what to do with this fund, because there will be some issues, I'm sure, just because of the way it was worded when she gave us the money. And my suggestion would be to maybe put a committee together consisting of at least 2 or 3 members of the old ambulance service that dealt with it for a long time. And I have some names to suggest if you wish to have them.
Sure.
I don't know if they'd serve or whether they wouldn't, but I know they would be concerned about how that money got spent. Second suggestion is maybe we could do like we did with the Gary Haig Fund and set up something for scholarships for kids graduating Ennis that are going into the medical field. And maybe we can set something up with that so where those people would come back and at least give us some time back for their scholarship. That way our money still stays in the town where it was designed to be. So that's a kind of a question that's gnawing on me for the moment. And but she was very generous. She gave a lot of money to this whole community. And so I don't want to see it squandered away somewhere. And I don't know how to go about putting it in the right place or what is the right place. So we got to be careful with that.
So yeah, we'll take the names. You wanna email me or write down the names for, be happy to take those.
You want them in person, I'll give them to you right now.
Okay, sure, I'll write them down.
I would suggest Steve Louds.
Okay.
I would suggest Wade Miller. Myself, if you want me.
Okay.
All of us have more than 20 years of experience working with the Ennis ambulance service. And so there's probably some others, and maybe you should have somebody from the community at large that, you know, wants to be involved in any of it. Because it was community money that got those ambulances off the ground. There was both of those ambulances, we had many fundraisers. I put together the first one way back when to buy the very first ambulance, second ambulance. The first ambulance was little van that we had that came from the state. And when we got a new ambulance, we did fundraisers to pay for that, and the community in the valley at large paid for those ambulances pretty much other than grant monies.
Yeah.
So that's
The ambulance ran on a lot of sweat equity for a long time.
well, and there's only 6 of you running and you're getting, 30 calls a month
Yeah,
and you're working at the same time, that's a lot of business,
for sure.
especially for, 4 of us are only, sometimes only 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I've been on runs where I had to take somebody to drive for me, just, you're driving, you're qualified, I know you are, because I trained you to be a first responder. You're driving, I'm in the back, and I had to stop at the hospital and pick up Ron Handel so we could go get a guy that had a bad wound,
Yeah.
right? So there's a lot of times where you get stretched really thin.
For sure.
So that's why I appreciate Wade and Steve. I know what they went through, and those guys would be really good if they're willing to donate their time again for a few hours.
Yeah. Sounds good. Thank you. Any other public comment on non-agenda items? Online? Any public comment on non-agenda items? Hearing none. We will move on to scheduled matters. All right. Consideration of consolidation of the planning board, the Board of Adjustment and Zoning Commission. You want to hit on this, Michelle?
We can, did you guys get a copy of the Montana Code on this?
Yep.
Okay, did you have any questions or? Is it,
I believe so.
so this would be combining?
Yep.
The planning board, the Board of Adjustments, and the zoning commission into one board, and make it easier to fill the spots?
Makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Do we need a
So,
resolution to do that, or?
Well, I didn't think so.
I don't think so, I think it can be decided on in this meeting.
Yep, exactly, because Cody had prepared all the other resolutions, and I don't think she would have, or and Michelle. So I don't think they would, I think it's just something we can make a motion on, because we did have to advertise for those open positions, which we did do. And then seeing that we got no response, or response to fill, then, yeah, we move forward. So with consolidation.
So she says revised statute at 5/14/26 meeting and suggest resolution of intent to consolidate at June meeting.
Oh, okay, so it's something at our June meeting, we'll have a resolution of intent to consolidate.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I had to catch up to my notes.
So,
Do we do, we kind of set this up to be a minimum, it has to be a minimum of 5 persons.
Yeah.
But we could have up to 7, or how do we, trying to remember how we dictate, we could make it up to 10?
no, you don't
No,
want that many.
no.
We can't fill the seats we need.
No.
No, they have to live in the,
No.
I think that's what we talked about last meeting, in the 2023 legislative session, they determined that you have to live in the jurisdiction that you're, so there used to be the mile buffer. That no longer applies, you have to live in the town of Ennis, so I would keep it at 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So we don't need to make a motion or
I don't think so, I guess we
anything.
could,
We're just
yeah,
agreeing
we
to
could
do the
move,
resolution.
we could say support a resolution of intent for
Yeah,
next month.
I think there's intent to go that direction, so.
Yeah.
Let's get a resolution for the next
Okay.
meeting.
Perfect. Okay, so then we have the resolution to adopt, and actually, let's see, okay, let's go through this one, so. Resolution, it is number 626, resolution of intent, 626-2026, resolution of intent to adopt the town of Ennis annexation plan. Do you want me to read through it, or do you just want to read it?
I've read it.
Okay. Any
And we'll
questions?
get the corrections to the draft.
Yeah.
No, the correction.
Oh, would you make your motion?
Yeah, no, in the motion, we have to do
Yeah.
the correction, yeah.
But then we'll have to have Brenna put on the website, the resolution of intent and the legal notice. and I'll get that over to you.
Oh, we needed the legal notice on there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I have
And I'll be
it, so I'll
sending
just
one.
make sure.
Okay, perfect. And then I'll contact Natalie and get it in the paper and run it.
Okay, I was like, I already did contact them.
Did you? Okay. Maybe Cody didn't know that. Okay,
I'll
so,
just let you know as well tomorrow.
all right. So I wanted to do that.
So,
All right, I'll make a motion that we intend to adopt the Town of Ennis annexation plan with resolution 626 with the one correction that was brought forward in public comment.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, photo, Commissioner Meekins.
Aye.
Commissioner Hardy.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Anthony. Great. Motion carries. Okay. Next one, consideration of an interpretive sign at the Lions Club Park. Brenda, would you be so kind as to bring it up on the screen?
Was this a grant?
Keith is gonna tell us about it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Hi.
Nikki, what do you mean, was it a grant?
Was it, like, is it something that the Lions Club applied for, or did the town?
No, the Mass River Foundation. So we are doing a lot of water quality monitoring throughout our whole system now. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 gauges now. We put 2 more gauges in the last year. One of them was on Ennis Bridge. And we're looking for an easy and accessible way to educate the thousands of visitors that come every year as to how special our watershed is and what it takes to protect it. So we went to we contracted with an artist who does this for many of the conservation groups around the state. And she designed this sign for us. And our hope is to put one in Lions Park with the other interpretive sign. It would look something very similar to this here.
Yeah.
You see that on your side?
Yeah,
The
there's
screen behind me? Okay.
that one, and then the official sign, I think, that, is
Official sign,
it the screenshot or, oh, this one probably.
that one there. You know, what we're hoping is, with all the visitors we have every year, is that this sends a clear message to our tourists that, our community is committed to protecting our river and keeping it healthy for generations to come.
Keith, maybe you said it, but did the Madison River Foundation pay for this wholly, or was it just a partnership with you guys?
We partnered with USGS on the water quality monitoring stations that you'll see. There's one now down in Canada boat ramp on the lower Madison, there's one right on Ennis, Kirby and Barney and, yeah. But we paid for it, foundation.
and then you wanna pull up where the location is to be really close to the.
So I would like to say, I apologize for coming to you so late for permission to plant this sign. We had been talking with the Lions Club, who said they didn't have an issue with it, and then we found out just last week that we needed to get your permission, so my apologies. The sign is actually made and ready to go in the ground. We wanted to see if you folks were on board.
On board. Okay, so you get a motion?
Yeah, only one other question I have, maintenance on it. Lions Club's gonna do the maintenance, like a couple of years when it fades, get it redone, or Madison River Foundation gonna.
We will we'll take care of that. It shouldn't, we've been told that the material we use has a 20-year UV life, so.
Okay.
I think most of us.
I won't be here.
I won't be here. I may not even be here on this earth, but no, the foundation will take care of it. If it never gets vandalized or whatever reason.
The other one's been there for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do they need a fence permit for that?
I don't think so.
Sign,
Yeah.
or sign permit, yes.
Maybe sign permit.
Do
Is it a sign permit? I don't think so, because we don't have sign permits to the baseball field.
Okay, I just checking, I just.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay. Thank you for being so thorough. Okay.
Do we need a motion?
Yes, please.
I move to approve the interpretive sign at Lions Club Park.
I'll second. All the vote, Commissioner Hardy,
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
Keith,
you,
for
Commissioners,
coming.
you're welcome. Lisa, do you need anybody there with me when I plant it? I have a couple of high school kids that are gonna help. Okay,
You might want to check with Eric, make sure.
yeah, I'll work with Eric. He and I have a few things to talk about, so
Sounds good.
I like working with Eric. All right, well, I've got a dinner date and I don't want to keep my wife waiting. so
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna
Thank
step
you for
out.
your patience with us.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming.
Thank you guys very much.
Okay, our next item is ordinance number 2026-160, an ordinance of the town of Ennis, Montana, amending the ordinance 137 dated December 8th, 2011, chapter 13, Police Department of the Town of Ennis Code 1-13-1, -13-2, and 1-13-3. You can read through this. This basically allows us to contract with the
You
sheriff's
just
department.
added that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all that it's adding. So,
It does not preclude us from having
no,
Ennis.
no, it's just you have.
Either or.
Either or, yep, that's what it says, so,
Without having to redo everything.
yes,
Without
exactly.
having to draw the place where I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly, so it's just amending that we can have either one. And so it would, mirror HB 330-3.
Yep. All right.
I'm sorry, Lisa, interpret for me.
So basically, House Bill 333 passed last July, which required towns to either have a police department or contract with the sheriff's department. And so now we're just making this ordinance aligning with that
With
bill.
FCA.
Yeah, with the Montana Code annotated, and that the town in October contracted with the Madison County Sheriff's Department for our law enforcement services. It's just basically housekeeping of the ordinance.
But I think, but it doesn't completely give up that the town can have its own.
No, yeah, it says you can have a police department or you can contract.
So this was to make sure we didn't get rid of the police department.
Yeah.
That's where I was. Yeah, this makes it so we don't have to. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we want that option still there.
Yeah, so then that way, yeah. Okay. Do I have to read it?
I'll move to accept ordinance 160, amending ordinance 137 to add law enforcement interlocal agreement.
Second.
And any discussion?
It seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Any public comment? Okay. Call the vote, Commissioner Way?
Aye.
Commissioner Rankin? Commissioner Hagan?
Aye.
Commissioner Hardy?
Aye.
All right, consideration of the Town of Ennis Policy Manual. So this policy manual, has gone through a couple different iterations. So just wanted to see your thoughts on it. It has been reviewed both by MMIA and by EDVUSA. So that was part of the claims and why the legal fees were a little higher is because he went through this multiple times. So,
And policy manuals are a living document, so a year from now,
yeah,
if things change, we just amend it and.
Yeah.
And don't have. Just outdated.
yeah, the last one
Don't
was
have
the.
much teeth, do they?
Well, I think we keep it Ed's perspective, which is the city attorney. It just lays out policy and protocol. So, and he said you just want to keep it very basic. And Derek Shepard said the same thing, is to keep it very basic, but it does outline, say the hiring procedure, that we are non-discrimination, hiring. It also outlines how to file a grievance, all those just like little particulars of how to manage employees. And like it also covers
like cell phone policy at work, there's a social media policy in there as well. So yeah, but if there's something that we find or the employees find that aren't working with the policy manual, it's easily updated. It just hadn't been done in 12 years.
Yep.
So comprehensively.
I've read this thing 2 or 3 times now. It's fascinating reading.
So fascinating.
I think it's all pretty straightforward stuff. I think we should probably just approve it and go with it.
Do we need a motion?
I would move,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I move to approve to update the town minutes policy manual.
Second.
Discussion from employees? You get the chance to review it? Okay. Any public comment on the policy manual? All right, call the vote. Commissioner Ranson.
Aye.
Commissioner Hankins.
Aye.
Commissioner Hardy.
I,
Right. Thank you. Okay, our next one is the RFP for on-call engineering. So, pull that up. So our on-call engineering contract with Great West Engineering expires in August. It was signed in 2018 for 5 years, and then it had you could renew it for 3 years. So we are exhausted all of our renewals of that policy or that contract. So Cody helped me with this as well because there's some grant requirements, but request for proposals for municipal engineering services. So we'd like to advertise this as soon as possible. So then that way we have
Something lined up.
yeah. So then that way we have something lined up and probably, gives firms time to respond. So
my question is, Great West seems to have all of the small towns, or a lot of the small towns in Montana tied up with under their umbrella. Is there other services in the state that compete with Great West or the same?
More now.
Is there?
More now than I would say
Yeah.
10 or 12.
So
years ago
I've
when I
been,
was
I've
first
been
year.
told that there are other engineering firms that would be, and I guess that's why I want to get this RFP out ahead of time. And so then that way it can be out so we're not here in July going, oh no, what are we gonna do? So, so that's why it's out now, so.
So are we actively going to reach out? Last time we put out an RFP, it was for the planning or for the
Growth policy?
growth policy, and we got one other firm. The guy was like in school. So I was kind of curious, but I'm just curious if we're gonna be a little bit more proactive and maybe reach out to some of these firms. I just feel like
Do you
people.
know how to work the phone?
They do.
Okay, then there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, we can all do it, right? So I mean.
If
you
we
guys-
get request back, then we have to do our homework on it.
Well, yeah, I think he's just maybe to get the request.
Oh, to get them in?
Yeah, so maybe like
Summer.
calling other,
Or
if you
kick it
know,
off.
engineer, if anyone else knows any other engineering firms, or, we can reach out to the listserv and ask, who's your on-call engineer, and we could say, hey, firm XYZ, we have a request for a proposal, so would you consider submitting?
Yeah, I just worried, last year when I was at the legislature, for all that coal endowment stuff, Great West had like every town.
Yeah.
It felt like every town that was going for, a grant for water system or sewer system, Great West was their.
Yeah, and isn't that interesting, because they're kind of competing against themselves? I kind of like
Yeah.
that when we did the CDGB grant,
Yeah.
when I was sitting in the audience going, oh, well, you're writing a grant for
I mean,
10 other communities, how are you competing against yourself?
I sat in that hearing for 4 hours and it was like every town
Yeah,
had Great West as their.
yeah,
And I'm
I
not
think,
saying that's a bad thing.
yeah,
It
I
is
think
what
they
it is.
found their niche, I think
Yeah.
that's really what they do, but I think it doesn't hurt, and I think we're legally required to. So can I have a motion on the RFP for engineering services?
I make a motion to put in an RFP for engineering services for grant writing and administration.
I'll second. Call to vote. Commissioner Higgins. Aye.
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 Special event policy, I just wanted to bring, I know this was, passed last summer. I think it needs some fine tuning. And just this, we've had a couple of applications in implementing it. There's just a few.
Where's it rubbing?
Just like we read, and maybe it's more, when it talks about alcohol, it's kind of redundant a couple of places. And then I think we need some general guidelines too, because it says, let's see, right here, it says alcohol requirements in section 2, and then it hits it again in section 4. So, and then also, I think we just need to set up those, and maybe get a little bit more specific about, when it talks about like traffic. I mean, I guess leaving it open, allows for interpretation, and you can do it case by case. But I just don't want there to be an instance where it's like, oh, well, you didn't address this.
Well, when we passed it last year, we were under the understanding that this is kind of a first bite of the apple. Let's run with it and see,
Sure,
where
okay,
it's
that's
going.
fair, yeah, I don't know if I was at the meeting, I think it's super helpful to have, a lot of towns have these, I think we need to talk with the Lions Club. I did talk with them, I had a meeting with them this week, and, when we talk about, I think we need a section about, damages and stuff like that, and who's responsible, and those types of things, So that's all. So if you don't mind reviewing it and then maybe review some from some other communities. I looked at, again, Whitefish's, I looked at Bozeman's.
When I wrote this one, I used Whitefish and Red Lodge or Whitefish and West Yellowstone and put them together.
Put them together, okay, yeah. So,
What if you had like another fee, like a crowd management fee? Because these are really inexpensive, but people that are holding the concerts and that kind of stuff, I'm sure they're.
yeah, and that's where, and maybe that's a threshold based on the size.
Yeah.
Too, because I mean, if you're having and you could maybe do it profit, nonprofit.
Yeah.
And you have to.
Yeah.
I don't know, so these are things to think about,
Because $50 for that, I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah, and with alcohol, so.
Well, 150 then, but still, that's nothing.
Yeah.
So would you do that with the music in the park and those kind of things too?
No, this is first, no, because that's on private property.
This is like a Lions Club, if somebody wants to rent out the Lions Club park or have a concert, like the concert last year.
Or if they want to close down the streets, those types of things, it's on public property. When you're using public facilities, on private property, that's their own thing.
So I think one item that I helped put on farmer's market, we are not a nonprofit. We don't have that status yet. So, and we work on a very tight budget. Insurance is $450 a year, and we're barely making any money and able to facilitate advertising. So I guess I would ask that maybe we put in a section specifically addressing the farmer's market. I don't know, or just everyone to consider that, what that would look like, and keep it cheap for the farmer's market. We have music there is another expense that we incurred last year, and that's,
You paid for that?
we did $50 per time. Yeah, so,
And you're doing what, 12?
something like that, we might, yeah,
Shorten it up.
yeah, well, it is the first week of June,
Okay,
But-
last year you started in May.
yeah,
Remember correctly.
Memorial Day.
And
So-
those are gonna be at Lions Club again?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was, I guess, with the former mayor and myself, that was kind of a point of contention, and it was gonna be, like, how many vendors we actually had, and then we would have to pay, you know.
Pay per vendor, yeah.
Pay a fee per vendor, but ultimately, it's just a community event.
Sure.
It's not,
Well,
there's
that's
nobody making money, there's nobody getting.
And
money.
sometimes it's kids. But,
Yeah, but-
yeah, and I think that's where you can kind of balance, like, the 4th of July parade, that's a, you know, that is a community event. The farmer's market, and so that's where I think we might need to hone a little bit, down to, so then that way we don't paint it with a wide brush, and it's just like, okay, well, you know, there's a farmer's market, but then all of a sudden, I don't know, there's, I don't know, a for-profit person that does some kind of, yeah, festival, or, I don't know. So I just wanted you guys to think about it, so it's all.
One of them is actually like a venue thing, and the other one is a community thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so they would probably, I would think you would approach them from two different angles.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, one, when it's a venue thing, and you, like
Yeah.
you say, the alcohol and the crowd control and the
Yeah.
whatever is involved, where farmer's market is a community serving the
Yeah.
rest of the community type thing.
Is this like tax exempt or nonprofit, is it?
with that,
Like, so does the chamber have to pay for the alcohol fee?
Yes.
And okay.
yeah, so they
Yes,
have to pay
but-
$150, yeah.
Yeah, and all the vendors and.
For top, we're gonna,
Yes.
They didn't have to pay for all the vendors, they had to pay.
Oh, they're not doing the vendor fee?
Because there's not one.
Oh, I thought there was.
No.
We discussed that, didn't we? And then did we opt out because everything that had vendors was for profit, not was nonprofit?
And that's the tricky part, right? Do you make
Yeah.
each vendor, that's why I just wanted to talk about it more, because I think there's a few more things to be sussed out. I don't have a position one way or the other, but then you get to like, okay, you know,
Well, and
they're different, like the arts festival, you make each one of those people get a business license.
not, yeah, right, because they're making money.
I don't know. I don't know
Even
what
if
the
it's under
answer is,
nonprofit,
but-
they're- Yeah,
It's all private property.
that one is, but
Or-
what about?
Yeah, but they're still conducting business in the town of Ennis,
With
so
the
they can
town
conduct,
vendors, yeah.
you're supposed to have a business license,
Do
right?
new vendors pay anything?
To us, we get a broad, vendor, we get a business license, but then they come in,
But do your vendors pay you to pay that business license?
essentially, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, even if you charged every vendor $5 or $10, like it's still doable.
Yeah.
And then,
We're charging, I'd have to look, I think we're charging like $8
yeah,
per time, just to cover our basic
Yeah.
costs, so.
I feel like that would be reasonable almost.
Yeah, put some thought into it. Let me know. So I'm just working through it. It was kind of like, oh, well, you know, so I can, I'd like to see what your thoughts are. I can put some other thoughts to it as well. So, and that's just, it's only because the tap happened and then we got the application for the Madison Music Festival too. So I've been really working with these, and so that's why I came.
And we're also gonna be, hosting the kids farmers market as well. And those kids don't pay any fee whatsoever. We're just out trying to figure out how to run a business essentially.
Yeah.
So,
I will have to say, when we had my kids in their cotton candy, we did buy an Ennis business license to be at the farmer's market.
By choice, or could you have to choose?
By choice.
Because Austin did never have a business license.
Yeah, but it would put, I mean, farmer's market is unique in that it's like start up, you know, and
Sure.
maybe people don't have, they want to come and try and sell their wares a couple of times, and, you know, it's $50 for a business license, so I'm not gonna, I don't think we should charge children $50 for a business license for selling Kool-Aid.
Yeah, all right, well, put your thoughts down and maybe, yeah, we do have a farmer's market special.
Exceptions or
Well,
something.
but
A definition, you could put,
Yeah, you
there's a
could put a
definition
definition.
section here, and that, it is kind of, you know, do have some adults that pop in there, and they are absolutely for profit, trying to make
Yeah.
some money, so.
Yeah. All right. So, no motion required there, just a little more thought. When you have time, it's, okay. Next one, town hall apartment renovation. So, so the tenant up there vacated as of May 7th. I don't know if you guys want to go take a tour. Or you want to walk up there?
No, not me, we'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, so just think about, so, if I recall correctly, you know, our meeting was that we're gonna use, our last meeting, that we were gonna use it for employee housing. I would say that needs to be some mitigation happen, the carpet needs to be pulled, and new flooring, maybe some new countertops, and, the bathroom. Right now, there's like a single shower stall and then just a plain tub. It might be worth just putting in a fiberglass tub and then converting the shower stall to a linen closet or something along those lines. So, and it needs to be fully painted, all the walls and the ceiling. So
what is our budget for this project?
So I can look, I think in, just a rough estimate, in that fund, I believe, like $38,000.
36, 38, something like that.
Yeah, there's $38,000 in the apartment fund. And so I did have one contractor look at it. I just wanted to see if that was still our plan, and and then I can bring proposals to you.
I think that's what we should do. We should, have some contractors look at it, priority on local contractors that already have business licenses with the town.
Yeah.
And get the work done.
Yeah, Eric did say that we do have a sprayer, so we might be able to, that was something that they might be able to take on, would be some painting.
Sure.
So, but I think the biggest part is, the mitigation of the odor, so, from the carpet. So that might take a little bit. But yeah, okay, so I will get, more quotes on that, and we can go from there. Okay. Radio read meter project update. Okay, so I have some, this is a back of the napkin map. We have, Brenna can maybe help me out. We have total users, 751 total users. We have 350 that have radio reads currently, so that leaves us with 451. We still have 186 meters left from the grant funds that we got, so that leaves us with 451 minus 186. So we would need to order 265 meters to complete. And not all of it, did we determine on how many of those 265 were residential meters?
It was 326 are residential.
Out of the,
That is, that don't have, that would be the, 400. So out of 400, 326.
326, okay, so 326
we have 186. Equals, so we need 140 residential meters to complete the radio reads. They are $427. I'm gonna put 428 because I think there's some change in there. 140 times 428 is $59,920 of what it would cost.
I have some questions.
Okay, well, just a second. So it would be $59,920 to complete. So here's a question for maybe our next budget year. Of course, meters are on sale now and they go up after July 1st. I don't know what, did he say how much they were gonna go up?
He doesn't, he will know, June 1st.
Okay, so we can.
Is there like a meter salesman that came around?
Who's
It's
he?
Northwestern Pipe, Fittings. We had a salesman and he helped me install the whole, Neptune 360 and that whole software and stuff. So yes, he does come around.
Wow. That tracks all the meters. So here's the question. Do we, to offer to be consistent and fair to all the people, do we order these meters, these 140 meters, and then do a cost share program with the homeowners that they would pay 25%, which is roughly $15,000. So we would spend about $45,000 on new meters, getting everyone. I did a little bit more back of the napkin math. We spend two guys.
I was gonna say, won't it equal out in time?
Yeah, so 2 guys, 2 days a month, everything. We spend $33,000 a year in man hours reading meters. So it'll pay
And this
for,
will eliminate that.
this will eliminate that.
Drive by.
So
How much,
We were kind of talking about this even with DIS when I said, the upfront cost is shocking, but in the long run, it is going to save money. And I think, because we've done, 3 stages of this? Some people were like free and then there was a discount.
No, I don't think it was ever free. It was 80,
There was a
discounted.
Discounted,
And then-
I think we have to continue keeping it.
Well, it was, it was just one round of that grant money that came available that was jumped on, so they got it. It's just how, so do we wanna,
How many are non-residential?
Let's see, 53 plus 21, so 74.
yeah, and those are typically larger meters.
Correct.
So more expensive?
More expensive, yes.
Businesses write those off?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
And there would not be a cost share for that then, right?
It's up to you guys.
But I know like downtown, I just have a residential supply shop.
That's what they drop off for me, I'm pretty sure too, so.
Yeah, so it's, I guess it's, these would, instead of saying residential, we can say 3/4 meters.
Yeah, it's a,
Would that be fair? Or no, that messes up your numbers.
Well, no, I mean, it does, but there are some,
Will pay more than the.
there are some still businesses with the 3/4. So if you do it, I mean, there are some, but most of them, yes, are bigger.
Yeah, so if you're using more water, you have a bigger line. So, but if you just have a toilet in the bath, washing your hands, you just gotta,
No, I don't. I have the bigger one.
oh, you do?
Yeah. So if I'm gonna have to pay, I didn't get to pick which one I wanted to get put in.
Yeah.
So why can't I have a residential? If
I guess that was,
businesses still have residential.
I think it was probably whoever built your building.
It's the pipeline that goes into it.
Yeah,
Like the side.
3/4 versus
Yeah.
2 inch.
Yeah, so I don't think it's,
But it's also my water, my price is based on that size. Correct.
so what we could do is just offer a whatever discount. You'll pay, you offer a discount across the board to everybody. And so they're paying the same ratio.
Probably only fair.
We'll do it that way. So that's gonna increase it, cause those bigger meters, the like 2-inch ones are, do you know how much those are?
1,000 something. They're going up, so. So why is that not a good time to make every business get the same size? And get
You have
charged
to
the
change all
same
the
thing that every
pipe.
business
You would
is
have to
getting?
change all the pipe,
The pipe coming in.
it's not just like, oh, I'll choose a different size meter, it's the size of your water line servicing your business.
Here's a newer build, so they probably put a bigger pipe going in with the shop and stuff, where his is older downtown.
Yeah, it's 100 years old down there.
Yeah, they probably ran a small pipe in, and it's not.
So anyway, something to mull over, I guess we can look at.
That'll become an issue when you increase water rates then. Because the people with the larger pipes are gonna have a larger increase in water rates than the
Yeah.
people. And there's probably businesses that use a hell of a lot more water than I do that are paying residential pricing.
So do you pay per gallon? It doesn't matter if it's residential or whatever you pay. Is it
But the
that?
price is different.
It's based on the size of the
Yes.
meters
Yeah.
or
yeah.
pipe.
So that's the water rate discussion is a whole nother, cause it's different across all towns, like, so we have a base rate and then you pay per 1,000 gallons. Other towns have a base rate that includes extra that's gonna be a whole nother conversation itself. So some towns have a base rate and it includes the first 2,000 gallons. So there's gonna be, and that's where the bond council comes in and rural water and helps determine, once we know how much the loan is gonna be for the storage tank, then that's when we can determine, the bond council will determine water rates. Because you have to have enough income to pay for your loan. Does that make sense?
So just for argument's sake, say Eric went in to install a water meter in John's store, he put on a 2-inch fitting on that to attach an actual commercial meter.
You're
does
getting
that-
into technicalities, I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I think it's because there's a 2-inch pipe, but there's only a.
Yeah, you
1-inch
could-
pipe,
Right, they
whatever
might
it
have
is.
necked it down.
Yeah.
I'm just going to consistency in the
Yeah,
future, how
and
that stuff.
we have one toilet and one sink and one coffee maker.
Sure.
Is it public or private?
Well, we have 2 toilets and 2 sinks and it's almost over $100 a month. And we're only there Monday through Thursday during the day. We're not washing clothes, we're not washing cars, we're not wet sanding and buffing.
So, so thoughts on, and,
I have a question on the meters, on the original grant meters that you have, still 140 of them.
we have 186.
You have 186 left.
Yep.
That people didn't, and when I came and you told me I couldn't have 3 more.
Yep, because this is the discussion that we want to have, is that we want to treat everybody fairly. It's not a first come, first serve situation.
Okay, what was it? What was it when you had been advertising for?
Those are all the old meters, and that was all up to Public Works. That was all Eric's doing.
That was Eric's in the previous administration on how they wanted to disperse those grant funds. I don't even think the commission was involved in those discussions. It was, so it was the previous administration and Public Works decided that the oldest meters got priority, and that's where they came from. Now that we've gone through that list, we have these extras. And so, and then to complete the system, we need this 140 or whatever,
Under the grant program, are you constrained to allow those 160?
So in the grant, it was identified that actually Lower Ennis was the priority. From First Street to Third Street was the identified.
Lower Ennis.
Yes, so that's what was identified in the grant, and then the previous administration chose to do the oldest meters, which are scattered throughout town.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm still, but are you under the constraint of the grant? No matter how you decide you're going to distribute them, those meters are going to need to be distributed at the $85 and whatever
No.
cents it was.
No, they are not. So the grant, how the grant worked was that it was a share. So we got $83,000 and then we had to match that with 20%, with 20%. So we put in, it was whatever 20% is, that's $21,000. So how the previous administration decided to pay that $21,000 was to have the users pay $85. Instead of dispersing the grant money over the entire town, they chose to just do it for those meters.
Okay. And so now Eric has $83,000 to go towards these others.
No. So we spent the $83,000 when we bought our first batch of 350 meters or whatever, yeah. So he took that $83,000 and purchased 350 meters.
I encourage you to revisit that with Eric, because I thought I was understanding that he has some funds from the turnaround of that he could help with that.
So, and it's actually a reimbursement grant. So, and that we have not applied for a reimbursement yet. So, which we are working on. So it was money out of water enterprise fund and it will get reimbursed. So we're working on it.
So you will get a reimbursement from the grant?
Yes.
For 80%.
For 80%.
Yeah.
Which is?
The $83,000.
The $83,000.
Yes.
So you will get $83,000.
Yes. So, and how, so I guess, in the next, I think it is the way that the budget that is done, there is the funds available in the water enterprise fund. Do we want to purchase those now? How do you want to go about it is the question. And so then that way.
I don't think they're gonna get any cheaper.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, they're not gonna get any cheaper, I think this is inevitable that this has to happen.
Yeah.
I think we purchase them.
Are they on sale because they're going to a new model and they'll be out of?
I don't think they're on sale, I think the price increases. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think they're discounting the fly rods, they're just saying next year's model is gonna be more.
Okay, I'm just checking. Just checking. I don't want to put all these in and have to
Yeah,
update them.
yeah,
I don't
and they
think
do have
that's
they do have a 10-year warranty.
Okay.
I know this was asked before, but I can't remember the answer. Can the town apply for the grant again?
No, it was one pot
One
of time.
time? Okay.
Yeah,
It was,
and there's no different grants or anything we're missing, right?
not that I'm aware of. So there's other grants Karen and I are looking at. There's one for disaster mitigation, but I thought if we're eligible, that we apply to replace all the fire hydrants.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I haven't found anything else. You're welcome to research
I
too.
can't remember who we had asked at one point. Because we'd asked if there was more grants, and I think somebody had an answer for rural water.
Yeah, so I think this money came out of the 2023 legislature. And it was a pot of money for water improvements or
Small
something,
towns.
yeah, or whatever it was. That was approved by the legislature, and so that's when it was just like, okay, everybody jump on it, and so that's what they did. So.
So do you need a motion to try to go get these water meters?
Yes.
I move to approve that we purchase the radio read meters for the project.
Second.
140.
Well, yeah, do we need an exact number or just what's left?
I mean, if you want it to be an exact number, you can, but you.
I don't know, I think we just purchase what. I have 7 different numbers written down here, so I don't know if there's an exact number for any of it. 186, 74, 265, 350. It's a lot of numbers.
I think we need a second.
Oh, I did it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any more discussion?
Do we have to pinpoint since we're buying them, how we're gonna charge, or do we?
I think we should
Maybe we
approve
should
them and then we
specify
can
that we
can revisit on how the program works.
Are you only buying residential?
I think
Well-
you said it too.
Whatever it was,
Maybe we buy all the readers we need,
the breakdown was.
so we don't do this again and it's $7,000 more next time we revisit this. Does that make sense?
So
Buy
now
the
we're gonna
readers
do
we
all, we're gonna do all the meters to complete the project.
The money's there.
Maybe you could
We're
specify
getting
in
a-
your motion that you want the council to be part of the discussion.
I'll make sure you guys are included, because I want to make that decision myself. You know?
Sure.
So, you guys can determine that. And so think about that, how you want to, at what rate do you want to recruit some of this? It's gonna be more than $60,000, but how do you want
I was thinking about something, you know, the argument we made was that we're gonna save 30 to 40,000 on labor over the year. We only save that if we reduce labor. So what's Eric gonna do with his staff if he's not reading meters? Is that labor still gonna be there, or are we reducing that labor?
Well, that's good question too. We have an open position on public works.
Mhm.
So,
If it takes
I mean,
30
do we
to 40
eliminate-
hours a month.
Well, in the future, do we eliminate a position or does more work pick up? But there's tons of work not
there
getting
are
done
jobs that need.
because they're doing this.
Sure.
We got a whole Connex full of documents from 1992 that need to be disposed of. So there are other
Things they could do.
other things to do.
School bonfire next year?
They can, yeah. We get someone handy, they can replace.
No, I was
some
just thinking about
upstairs.
that, we're using that as an argument, but it's only a.
Yeah,
legitimate
only
argument
if you-
we
yeah.
Reduce labor to offset it.
And then it'll be a
That's a
question.
really good point.
It is a really good point.
Well, I know how much time they spend, and it's been complained for years, how much time they spend doing this.
But there are probably other projects that get neglected because they don't have the capacity to do it.
Okay.
Raise the revenues.
Spraying weeds.
Very nice, they go.
All right, call the vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey, Commissioner Wade,
Aye.
Commissioner Aronson, Commissioner Hankins. That moves us to commission comments.
Am I up? I was out of town a lot this month. I apologize, guys. I made a few trips down south. But I've been asked to still serve on the Legislative Action Committee, and we meet every Monday night for like 2 or 3 hours to talk about the legislative issues moving forward, right up through the legislature. So I decided to stay on that committee, even though I could have exited stage left, because the legislature this year is gonna be a wild one, so
Members.
brace yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have comment or that much, I guess questions, like the pump project.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Is it all in yours? I kind of figured that all of it's in yours.
Yep, yep. I guess I
guess
can move it.
a follow-up on the ambulance, did you ever talk to them? We talked about the leases and then you said you would maybe
And I
have a conversation, okay? And the other thing I'll probably say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Commissioner
Thank you for saying
Hankins?
those. It matters.
I don't have a whole lot. I did accompany the mayor and Eric and some Lions to tour the Lions Club Park and see what their plans for improvement are. Looks great down there. They're talking to the arborist and get ready to do a whole lot of work down there. I also had a man come in and offer, like he said, he had just taken a bunch of like climbing walls down. And he said it was like $5,000 or $10,000 worth of product, and I said, would you please go ask the Lions Club if they would be,
That was super cool.
if they'd be able to use it, so he was gonna contact, Mr. Loveland, and hopefully he did that, so.
You still have his number, or the guy's?
I could get a hold of him.
Okay. Sounds good.
But, yeah.
Awesome. Commissioner Hardy?
Attended a planning board meeting and, yeah, got some education from Miss Cody Markser on just a handful of things, you know, our annexation policy and what else, consolidation of the boards. Yeah, all stuff that we kind of already talked about.
Tree board. Tree board?
Tree board, we unfortunately are, we're gonna have an Arbor Day function this June, hopefully early in June, with, it'll kind of be after hours at the library, giving away trees and conducting a tree planting workshop essentially. So we'll be sending hopefully a bunch of kids and or residents home with some trees. Yeah, maybe I can't think they're willows. Drink a lot of water actually. What else? Yeah, other than that, yeah, I guess just questions maybe for the mayor, but we'll let her do her thing.
Let's see, went on the Lions Club Park tour, been down the Lions Club Park a little bit, working with the special events that have come up. There's Tap into Ennis this weekend. There's also an application for a concert in July. So I've been working through those, working with them. And then the Shed Mart sale as well, getting list of conditions for each special event permit. And so that's how I've been doing it, is reviewing that, coming up with conditions for each event, and then having the event organizer sign off on those prior to, so that we're all on the same page, essentially. So, let's see. Brenda's been working on the workers' comp, so that's gonna be coming up too, because we have to get new workers' comp. We exited MMIA funding pool, did that. The well house project, I attended the pre-construction meeting. So with that, with our little pickup with the CDGB, we had to do the environmental assessment. And then there was comment period, and then there's some kind of waiting period or whatever. So, but I think starting May 21st is when we'll be through all of that and they can start construction. So they have to have.
So we're on track.
Yeah, we're on track.
We
They
have
have
to
to
do.
they have to have, what is it called? Substantial completion by June 30th.
Okay.
So they have to be done. So then the, contractor and the well driller that were here, they felt good about that. So, so that is that. The storage tank project, we're still in the land acquisition phase. I did meet with the landowners over there, so we're still negotiating that through. So, kind of different things. So once that gets a little more solidified, we'll go through that. So then, once that part happens, then we can move forward with the storage tank project.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is there any like documentation from Great West, or somebody besides our public works director that says that property is not a viable option? Or is there like any documentation to say it is?
So I talked with Colette Anderson. Didn't even know that was there.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
We've talked about it before. I swear.
Well, but maybe Joel, who retired, maybe did know about it and it was part of consideration, but we would have to see if it is, I don't know, I think Eric is right that it would have to be at the same elevation. I don't know, I'm not an
But
engineer.
maybe there's a huge cost savings there that would take that down to $1 million or something.
Yeah, I don't know, so I think it just depends on how these land talks go.
There's
Cause it's still, they took it offline for a reason. In 1995, they took
For
it off.
contamination, right?
Yeah.
So does that mean something could have fallen in there and they could get it out?
That's what
That's
Gail
what
would
he was-
know.
That's
Gail
what
would
he
know.
said,
Gail's
that
really
they
smart.
couldn't clean
But
it, so
rabbit,
that's why they have it.
a rabbit?
And so they couldn't
It's not
clean it
enough.
at that time, so what are you gonna spend,
Wait a second.
are you gonna spend,
However much money trying to.
figure that yeah, so they took it offline at that point for some reason, so, are the transmission lines viable? I have no idea, but how much, are you gonna spend $60,000 in a feasibility study, figuring that out, and then,
If we stick with Great West, then probably.
And it's $1 million a mile to run it to,
yeah, I don't know that. So I don't know, I guess that was something when the project was being considered, did that come up? I don't know, I wasn't on the commission, so I'm just trying to fulfill the parts of the contract that were, and I think that even predates Mr. Way of
It
when,
does, yeah.
so I wasn't part of those discussions, I just know what contract is in front of me to try to see it for it. That's what was voted on, that's what the CDGB grant was based on, that's what the MSEP thing was based on, that's what all these grants and loans are based on, the SRF. All of these things are building a new thing. So that is where I've been trying to see those parts through, because that's what I was charged with. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. What else have we been working on? I think that kind of sums it up. So yeah, lots of meetings with people. I did not attend the meeting. Oh, we do have June 11th. Might even be the next meeting. There is the municipal summit that is actually being held here in Ennis.
At the school.
Nope, yeah, that's two different things. That is land use planning, which is on the 9th,
Okay.
June 11th.
I probably can't do any of this right now.
That's fine. I'm just
I
like.
saw all this stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna try. Can we pop in if we don't register, like if I can?
It's kind of like a classroom setting, but yeah, since you're part of the host city, I guess, so it's gonna be over at the school.
Mhm.
And it's from like 9 to 4 or whatever, and it's
On Thursday?
yeah, Thursday, and then on Tuesday, the 9th is the land use with Jerry Grevens. And the Montana League of Cities and Towns, and talking about land use in Montana, so, which might be,
9 to 4, you said?
what's that, 9 to 4, yeah.
And then the BC one is like 6 to 9. 5 to something.
Could be, I'll have to double check. I'm
You
sorry.
emailed, you're good.
Yeah. So that is where we are at.
6 to 9, I believe.
Good job. But yeah, that is all that I have. Anything else?
I'm gonna do adjourn. Can I do that?
Second.
Yes.
She seconded it.
Okay, oh, call the vote.
She said that too.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
We're gonna do, we need to do a table.
oh.
Just the chairs, I thought it was kind of, yeah. The chairs are harder to make sense. We don't have one.
There's nice amount of
And they did review your report.
Thank you.
Skipping over, yeah.
Everybody sign this?
No, I didn't.
No.
Eat hot all night.
Sign away and be happy.
I will. I will, you got it.
Do you have any really awesome friends that want to come now? Or that hang out with conferences?
Or,
Right there.
no. What's his name?
I wish that
Brian.
the guy that was on the planning board, that Neil Witt, I wish he would consider.
Yeah, we haven't got any interest in our open seat, have we?